Donald Trump is trying to cover up his despicable, disgusting, dark past. And I'm glad that the Democrats are not letting him get away with it. The Democrats are focused on it and going on the offense. Donald Trump is trying to bury his involvement with Epstein. As you know by now, the Trump DOJ is claiming that the Epstein list never existed. No such thing as the Epstein list, despite, of course, Attorney General Pam Bondi saying the list and the files are on her desk. She was ready to release it. She brought in the MAGA influencers to the White House in February. They held up a binder that said phase 1. There's going to be phase 2, phase 3, other phases. The list was going to be released. And by the way, Donald Trump and his son, Don Jr., and Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, and all of the MAGA leadership and MAGA influencers, they were saying this list is going to be released. And what have I been saying? You know, I've been covering this basically like every single day. I said, ain't happening, because Donald Trump's going to be all over it. I know where you would look if you wanted to get Donald Trump's involvement with Epstein. You know how I know? You just follow the facts. Donald Trump is Doe 174 in the civil cases. Okay, so I want all of the files relating to Doe 174. Let's find out Donald Trump's involvement in those sealed records. It would be very easy for us to get that. At Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial, Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well. I wish her well, Donald Trump said. Well, there was a woman who was 14 years old at the time when she was introduced to Donald Trump by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, is what she testified to. Let's see her under seal grand jury testimony. Let's see all of the documents relating to that Jane Doe. Produce them, turn them over. Also, let's take a look at all of the other documents regarding Epstein's connections to Mar-a-Lago. There are real connections there. He would hang out at Mar-a-Lago all the time. He used Mar-a-Lago as one of the bases to find girls to sex traffic. Virginia Giuffre, who recently died by suicide, was trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago. Ghislaine Maxwell found her working there, underage, 17 years old, where she was previously homeless, brought her to Epstein, and then the rest is, unfortunately, the most despicable, disgusting, sickening situation you could imagine, as Epstein then trafficked her and took her from Mar-a-Lago. You don't have to listen to me and go, hey, Ben, I always come with receipts. Here is what Virginia Giuffre said when she was alive about how she was found by Epstein at Mar-a-Lago and then she was trafficked. Graphic language, but this is the reality. Here, play this clip.
Virginia Roberts was working in the spa at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach when British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell introduced her to multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein.
The training started immediately. I mean, it was everything down to how to give a blowjob, how to be quiet, be subservient, give Jeffrey what he wants. A lot of this training came from Ghislaine herself. And being a woman, it kind of surprises you that a woman could actually let stuff like that happen, but not only let it happen, but to groom you into doing it. And then there's Jeffrey who's telling you, I want it this way. No, go slower and don't do that and do this.
So one of the things the Trump regime is doing to cover up the news cycle is they think they're going to get away with it. They say the Epstein list doesn't exist. There's no such thing as the Epstein file. They released surveillance footage that's missing a minute. And they go, oh, nothing we can do there. Just missing a minute. These things happen. Well, they then do the following. This is what the DOJ does. They think we're going to be distracted. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, goes, they're really throwing everything out there today to distract from Epstein. Breaking. White House waives executive privilege for Biden doctor Kevin O'Connor in cover-up probe. Fox, we need your help. Say Kevin O'Connor's covering up something about Biden. Dude, Donald Trump can't even speak in sentences. He can't complete. He's just saying a bunch of word mush together. So don't give me anything about Biden being cognitive anything. Biden spoke in sentences. Biden was old, but Biden spoke in sentences and had competent people around him. Oh, and by the way, should I bring out more receipts on Trump? He said Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Trump's been found liable for sexual assault. Donald Trump's on camera bragging about sexually assaulted women. He says when you're rich, you get away with it. Donald Trump's on multiple multiple videos partying with Jeffrey Epstein. He's all over Epstein's flight log. He's all over Epstein's call log. He's in the depositions of women who were trafficked by Epstein who mentioned that Epstein's going to go to Atlantic City and see Donald Trump. Trump flew in Epstein's jet, not just in the past, recently. That was Donald Trump's campaign airplane. He campaigned in Epstein's jet. They remade it, or they wrapped it with Trump 2024, but it was Epstein's jet that was used. You could have picked any other jet. You're picking Epstein's jet? What the hell is going on here? Here's the letter from the Democrats right here that they sent yesterday. A bunch of Democrats signed it. Here's what they say. It's a letter to Pam Bondi. 5 months ago, the Department of Justice dismissed the pending case against Walt T. Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, depriving the American public of an opportunity to hear the evidence of how they conspired with Donald Trump to help him stash hundreds of classified records at Mar-a-Lago, defy subpoenas, obstruct law enforcement, hide evidence, and lie about his continuing retention of these records. Since then, you've continued to seal evidence about Donald Trump. Democrats talking about the cover-up of Walt T. Nauta, of documents there, saying we're not going to get distracted, whether it's Epstein, whether it's Nauta, it doesn't matter. Here's what they're saying on CNN. Massive trove of evidence regarding Jeffrey Epstein's being hidden from the public by the Trump administration, according to CNN. Elon Musk says that Bannon is in the Epstein files. That's what Elon Musk is posting right now, and it seems that there is a massive cover-up. Have you seen this one right here? This is the Pam Bondi in action figure AI with the Epstein files just sitting there on her desk. So let's go through with a few of these things, shall we? So this was yesterday. Pam Bondi says she's asked, so what were you saying to Fox when you said you had the files on your desk? Watch her just kind of be so utterly flustered. Here, play this clip.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
Now here is Pam Bondi trying to explain why a minute was deleted from the surveillance footage outside of Epstein's prison cell. Here, play this clip.
And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
You know, this is an issue that's near and dear to my heart because I recently got life insurance for my family when I realized, Ben, what are you doing? You're not protecting your family. You're so busy. You're focused on everything. Protect your family. It's why I used Policy Genius, and I think you should also. Policy Genius makes finding and buying life insurance simple, ensuring that your loved ones have a financial safety net that they can use in case something happens to you. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies starting at just $276 a year for $1 million in coverage. It's an easy way to protect the people you love and feel good about the future. Let me tell you what I liked about Policy Genius. It helps you compare options by getting quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. They have a team of licensed agents who will walk you through the process step by step. That was very helpful to me. They answer questions, handle paperwork, and advocate for you throughout the process. I always like a good advocate by my side. Life insurance is a form of financial planning, and it's important that we all plan ahead to protect our families. We fight for justice, but real security starts at home. Visit policygenius.com/Meidas to compare quotes, understand your options, and take control of your future. It's one of the most empowering financial decisions that you can make and that I just recently made. That's policygenius.com/Meidas. One more time, policygenius.com/MEIDAS. policygenius.com/Meidas. Now, one of the things is that Donald Trump's former labor secretary during Trump's first administration, Alex Acosta, was the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida in 2007-2008. This is the guy who entered into the secret plea deal with Epstein, a non-prosecution agreement with Epstein without consulting Epstein's victims. And thereafter, a lot more of Epstein trafficking took place as a result of this secret deal, of this cover-up. Do you remember back in February of 2019 when Donald Trump was asked about Alex Acosta's alleged misconduct connected with his handling of Epstein sex trafficking cases when Acosta was a federal prosecutor in 2007-2008? This is the guy who Trump made his labor secretary during his first term. Here, play this clip.
Do you have any concerns about the labor secretary's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case?
I really don't know too much about it. I know he's done a great job as labor secretary, and that seems like a long time ago, but I know he's been a fantastic labor secretary. That's all I can really tell you about it. That's all I know about it.
What about the charges against Bob Kraft? He's a friend of yours.
Well, it's very sad. I was very surprised to see it. He's proclaimed his innocence totally, but I'm very surprised to see it.
So Trump is then asked about, okay, well, it seemed from people in your prior administration that they were saying that that Epstein was working as a foreign agent, basically to blackmail rich men with the list. Here's what Pam Bondi said.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
And here was Donald Trump's response yesterday at this disastrous press conference. Let's play it.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy.
Oh, but let's see. What did Don Jr. say in 2024? Oh, yes, that's right. Here, play this clip.
I'm fine with all the other lists. As long as I'm not on the Epstein list, we're good, right? Speaking of which, how is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right, folks? It's almost like they're trying to protect those pedophiles for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
And here on Fox, you have Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's top propagandist, trying to say, oops, we're moving on. We're now doing the criminal probe against James Comey and John Brennan, the former FBI director and the former CIA director. The truth must come out. The truth must come out. We're focusing on the real investigation. It's Comey and Brennan, everybody. Y'all think that we're stupid and we're falling for this? Here, play this clip.
There's obviously something to that. We just heard Caroline, I don't know if you saw the top of the show. It looks like there has been an investigation opened up into James Comey and John Brennan, possibly lying to Congress in a conspiracy over the Russia hoax. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I just heard that news at the top of your show, and I'm glad to hear it, because both of these disgraceful individuals turned against our Constitution and our country, and I'm sure they did, in fact, lie to Congress, and it's up to the Department of Justice to investigate that and to prosecute them if they did. And what we have seen is corruption at the highest levels against President Trump. The deep state threw everything at him to prevent him from coming back to this big, beautiful White House behind me, and he prevailed, and the truth must come out, and this administration administration is totally committed to transparency and to justice and to accountability. And we must have a rule of law in this country. We can't be a nation without law and order. That's what the president believes in, and I'm glad to see the Department of Justice is opening up this investigation.
All right.
How utterly ridiculous is this? And should I show you the video that we made at the MeidasTouch Network, 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point? Here's the video that we made about Trump. Let's play it.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon's?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no clue.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. Right. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
And I was able to interview someone by the name, I'm sure you know him, Michael Wolff, author. He was going to write Epstein's autobiography. Here's what Michael Wolff told me about his communications with Epstein when he was considering being Epstein's autobiographer. Play the clip.
And he sat for many, many hours of discussion with me. Certainly 80, 90, probably 100 hours I have of Epstein on tape. And one of the discussions, because this was occurring, Trump became the president in 2017. I began writing about Trump. And so we spent a lot of time talking about Donald Trump and Epstein's relationship with Trump, which went on for a good, certainly 15 years. And was incredibly close. They were, each other's closest friend for a very long time. And Epstein, I think Epstein is one of those people who truly knew Donald Trump, knew many secrets about Donald Trump, and was threatening to Donald.
Well, you see it there for yourself, folks. We ain't falling for it. They ain't falling for it. Anyway. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.